guys, welcome back. As most of you may know, I love video games. I love everything about them. From the sheer passion that goes into making a video game to playing and feeling that full excitement, playing them alone or with a friend or family member. What most of you may not know, I also love books. I'm an absolute bibliophile and I've collected books over the years, over the decades at this point, and it's exactly where the world of video games and books meet that amazing things emerge. In today's video, I want to take a look at a book specifically sent to me by Bitmap Books, one of the best publishers, simply put, when it comes to video game publications. And in order to do so, let's have a look over on that side, shall we? And over on this side, we're standing in front of my self-designed bookshelf, or at least a part of it. And at the very heart of it all is why the world of video games is caught on paper. But I do want to talk about Go Straight, the ultimate guide to side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Is it a book that is absolutely flawless? No, not quite. I do have some gripes with it nonetheless. It is a gem that's well worth collecting and should be part of anyone's bookshelf. So in today's video, let's dive in and check it out. I just wanted to quickly go over what you can expect when it comes to product packaging from Bitmap Books. Now over on this side we have some beautiful artwork here. I really love this kind of touch, and inside you find the book neatly tucked in here. When you first unwrap it, there is still a paper wrapping all around the book. We have a nice review reminder here, and we have these 4 foam protectors for your corners of the book, for the edges, and you can see it comes out just beautifully. This is what I expect from a great publishing house who really knows how to ship a book. Going over the first impressions of the book, it's absolutely fantastic all the way around. The format is great, it's heavy, it's sturdy, has a very good hardcover, it has beautiful artwork down here at the front and center, which is very iconic for the type of genre we're looking at. This is just picture perfect beat 'em ups. Great work on that one. Down here we have the title again, Go Straight, the ultimate guide to side-scrolling beat 'em ups. You can see the same on the side here, and on the back side we have a nice summary, nice layout of what you can expect. Now, we do have a nice bookmark, nice ribbon there, and let's open it up. Now, in regards to this review, it has to be mentioned that this is the second publication, the reprint. The first print was in 2022. This one is from 2023. Now, why that is important is to note that this edition doesn't have the gatefold pages that the first print has. That is important because for some pages it makes the experience quite different. We'll go over that one in just a bit. Now, to start off things, we have the layout of the book, which is nicely separated by the different eras. We have all the different titles that are incorporated in the book really well, really great selection. There are some omissions, regrettably so, but most of these, they show just about everything the genre has to offer. We have the platform keys, the kind of abbreviations that are used throughout the books, and we have a foreword by the great Yoshihisa Kishimoto. That is just fantastic. He is a hallmark, he's an industry legend when it comes to these kind of games, and to read his foreword that is just great. Now, then we have a little bit of preface. There is quite a bit of build-up, as to what is actually a beat 'em up or side-scrolling beat 'em up. You can read all about that. Here we have some beautiful artwork of the different games and the key ingredients. These two are staples of Bitmap Books, who explain in a very intuitive way why a game is featured in a specific genre that the book is about. I love this stuff. Now, then we start with 1980 to 1989. That's actually an era I was born into, and I've played most of these. When it comes to the actual layout of these, okay, let's just pause it right there. We have the titles, which are on the side on the left here. We have the developer, when it was released, and on which available platforms you can come across this. I do have a small gripe with it, and that is that some specific platforms are not mentioned throughout the book, which do have these games. One specific one, for example, is the Endstream Arcade. Now, Endstream Arcade is on various platforms, I do understand that, but they do take very good care of making specifically arcade games available to modern day gamers. Now, when it comes to games developed by Technos Japan or Arc System Works, there are quite a few games that are included in the book. Great work, including obviously the Double Dragon series, all of them are here, including the newest Double Dragon 4, but of course Kunio-kun games as well. Now, one thing I have to compliment on is there's several of them included in the book, and there's some great referring to them back and forth. However, there are some titles that I feel are really missing. For example, Stay Cool Kobayashi-san, River City Ransom Story. Now that is a game that I think should absolutely have been in the book. Nonetheless, I can't really complain. There's so many games in this, and there's something well worth for everyone. Here we have the Double Dragon 2, and I love these. I love these, where they go in depth. So usually you have like this. You have a 2-pager or a 1-pager. There are pages where there are 2 games on 1 page, but there are various games, and quite a few really, where you have like 4 or 6 pages per game. We have more pages showing this is just a classic moment, as it's mentioned. These kind of snippets, they make the book come alive even more than it would have otherwise. Now, here we have 4 games, and this one in particular, The Adventures of Bayou Billy. I do know, I agree, not the best of games, but I do have quite a bit of nostalgia with this one, grew up with this one. You know, the thing about this book that I have to give praise for, no matter how you look at it, is that specifically compared to other publications by Bitmap Books, this is a work which has many contributors. It's not written by one guy or one woman, but it reads, it feels as if it had been. Now, when I mentioned the gatefold pages have been removed, you might be wondering, why is that important? Well, for these kind of pages, it is important. So here we are on page 69, where we have half a map, and then you turn the page over and you have the other half of the map, page number 70. It's not the end of the world. I get that. But it's not very ideal either. I mean, I would have loved to fold that out and actually look at it. This is a book, well, there we are. River City Ransom. What more do you want? The Kunio-kun franchise at its very peak, at least in the 80s, and well, I think this was kind of the key that made Technos realize we've struck gold here. And this, well, speaking about gold, the different shops, this kind of behind the scenes, the hints, the tips, that is so refreshing in such a book. It's not a manual, but these kind of little bit of information that makes the book so much more valuable. There's some amazing games here. We have more Golden Axe. Love these kind of pages. The artwork is just stunning, and the kind of print quality really does justice to these games with their pixel perfect. We have Captain America. There's just amazing games. No matter which page you turn, here we have Shredder with his Ninja Turtles. Here, some more. There's no page that bores you. Talking about the bad dudes, here we have the 2 Crude Dudes. Crazy game, zany stuff. If you have a Nintendo Switch, definitely pick it up. If it's still available. There's kind of a copyright issue there, I believe. There is just so much content. And the print quality, just look at these pages. It's popping up the page, it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. And what this book did is it actually made me go back and replay the games that I had played, and maybe check out the games that I haven't played yet. Some of them I even didn't hear about. We have the Scott World level design. It's just wow, I hardly have words for it. And here's the general review. So that's like a 6-page layout of just one game. I mean, there's a lot of real estate here. There's a lot of value for your money. I think that the book has a very nice send-off, a very nice closing. You have this end page with different end screens of titles. That is just a lovely touch. But just before that, we have, let's Let's count them. That's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of Streets of Rage 4. Then we have a few other titles. So we have like a handful of titles. And that's the last chapter. Now, in comparison, there is just a plethora of games before 2020 included in here, and that is just absolute delight. This section, this last section, kind of feels like not exactly an afterthought, but it definitely feels like a lightweight, pun intended, compared to the rest of the book. And that's essentially the biggest gripe I have with it. It's a nice send-off, but I want more. On the topic of game selection, I do have a few more additions I want to mention, because a lot of these games you'll find have like 6 different available formats throughout the years, right? Now, this is a game, UFO Kamen, which has only been released in Japan on the Super Famicom, and even that makes its way into the book. I think that is so valuable, specifically to people who might have missed on this. It becomes an adventure on its own. Now, if I pick one more, it's on the TurboGrafx CD by NEC Avenue. It's Ann San. Now, correct me in the comment section down below if I pronounce it in a very wrong or weird way, but the write-up here, when you go through it, I've literally read it, cover to cover, this book. When you go through this, you want to check out the music, the OST of this game, and I did so. I never heard of this game before. I never played it, but the music, after reading this write-up, listening to the music, I want it. I want to play this. I want to experience it. And I think that is one of the many qualities that this book has. However, there's one gripe I have with it. And that's in the fact that throughout the book, the write-ups are great and talk about arcade cabinets, left, right, center. It makes you want to see those arcade cabinets, and many of them, well, they're not around anymore. I do find that to be quite a miss. I would have wanted some artwork of the arcade cabinets included in the book. I think that would have been the final touch that could really flesh out the book that much more. However, if you're not sensitive to that, I urge everyone to go out and place your order if you haven't already. Leave a comment in the section down below. Have you played any of the titles that you've seen me thumb through or mention, or are you aware of any titles that are not in the book? Thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to Bitmap Books for sending over this book for the purpose of this review, and I hopefully will see you in the next video.